Yo, 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 welcome back to Brandon Smooth TV. Back at you with the last episode of Obi-Wan Kenobi, episode 6, the series finale. And before I get into the review, I enjoyed this, y'all. I enjoyed this show. You know, it's a lot of people nitpicking. I know it's people picking at the continuity, picking at plot holes. It's a lot going on, but to be honest, this is the best show, in my opinion, that Disney Plus has put out on Disney Plus. Some people argue The Mandalorian. I enjoyed The Mandalorian, but since I had a little more familiarity with these characters, I thought it was better. That's just me. I didn't even know what the fuck a Mandalorian was prior to the show. To really keep it a buck, I thought it was Boba Fett, them people. So I enjoy Ian McGregor. He did a terrific job. Hayden Christensen as Vader did a terrific job. Shout outs to Moses Ingram, who did a terrific job, and we got to see our full story arc come full swing with Reva. And always people talking about, well, Vader wouldn't have did this. Obi wouldn't have did that. They people, they gonna do what the fuck they want to do. So of course this episode starts off, they got away. They got away last episode. Vader then used the Force to pull a whole ship down, ripping shit apart, and they end up escaping them. But they're hot on their trail, and that's how this episode begins. Reminds you of the beginning of New Hope, of course, when Leia's ship, and it's still Leia on the ship, which is dope, trying to escape, and then you see this big-ass fucking Star Destroyer basically take over the whole screen. I do like them paying homage to the original trilogy and the prequels. Every time they do it, it's dope. Of course, Vader understands that basically they're following them, and even the Grand Inquisitor, which goes back to one of my points I made in another episode. He was like, look, we're not going to stop chasing these people who have basically been getting Jedis out the Underground Railroad. We're not going to quit chasing them. We need to go on and end this now, and we'll stop their whole little faction. That's what the Grand Inquisitor said to Vader, and Vader was like, no, Obi-Wan is not a regular Jedi. Okay? Now we following Kenobi. And that goes back to my point. The reason why he used Reva so much, because Reva was trying to please him and had more of his agenda in her mind than the other Inquisitors. All the other Inquisitors thought like the Grand Inquisitor, and of course ultimately thought like the Emperor. That's why he kept her alive when she was a Padawan. Probably, and it all kind of tied into why he used her. But anyways, he goes after Kenobi, and Kenobi knows they after him, so he says goodbye to Leia. And then he gets on the ship and he goes to the nearest planet. Vader gets his shit ready and they go down to the nearest planet. Man. And we do get the duel that we want. Now, some people will be like, this duel ain't better than the one in Revenge of the Sith. It's not supposed to be. Not as many flips. They're a little older. It's not all of the stuff. But this was a good duel to me. It's rewatchable. And I do like that they used a lot of Force powers. Now, as they're dueling, you can see Vader is fighting with one hand when he starts off, but then Obi-Wan's back on his shit. And Vader was like, hey, you got stronger. There's even a point during the duel where Vader had to go on and put that second hand on the lightsaber. I said, yeah, now he's really knuckling up with him. And Vader understood that basically the old Obi-Wan Kenobi was back. So they put a lot of emphasis in the scenery around it. I love that they're around all these mountains, and the only two things you can see in the glowing dark is their lightsabers as they battle. Vader ends up getting the upper hand by force pushing him, and then he basically creates a huge crater in the ground. And when he created the crater in the ground and then Obi-Wan fell down, was it just me, y'all? I thought Vader was going to be an asshole and be like, I have the higher ground now. That may have been too much, but I swear I thought that would have been dope. Like for him to just say, "Now I got the higher ground." Anyways, Vader traps him under a lot of boulders, and he leaves. And he basically says, "Goodbye, Master." I love how he said the word "Master" very sarcastically. I thought that was cool. Now, underneath all the rubble, we know that Obi-Wan is barely holding on with the Force, and he ends up escaping. And then we'll get back to that. Meanwhile, we cut back to, of course, Princess Leia in the ship, and they're still pursuing the ship. But they basically get away. You know, to me, this whole battle was about Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, this whole review, and that's what my review is going to be about. But the other side story, of course, is we have Reva. And I wouldn't necessarily call it a side story because it does bring her arc full circle. Remember in the last episode, she found out about Luke Skywalker. So she heads straight to Tatooine She's looking for Owen. She's looking for, Luke Skywalker. And she's going to finish the job, basically to try to get, from what it looked like to me, to try to get back close to Vader. That's all she got is the dark side. All she got is this effed up mission, and that's what she wants to do. So she's going around looking for Owen. And then, of course, Beru, the wife, says, look, we're going to fight. That's all we can do. We can't hide in the desert. So they prepare for Reva to come. Then we cut back to the duel. Obi-Wan didn't escape. And look, y'all, it's no holds barred now. Obi-Wan lights his lightsaber while Vader's walking back to his ship and try to take his motherfucking head off. Just like in the other duel where Obi-Wan was walking in and Vader came out of nowhere. Basically, he got him back. He did his original Sarisu stance where he put the two fingers out and had his lightsaber back. That shit was dope, y'all. The reason why it showed to me that Obi-Wan is back to his old self, back at full power. So they start battling and getting into it, and then Obi-Wan fucks him up because he takes the back of his lightsaber and start beating into his chest with the goddamn all his functions start wearing up, and then he ends up slicing his helmet halfway off. Shout outs to Rebels. They did what they did in Rebels. Shout out to Rebels. We get to see half of his face. And I think, yes, he knew it was Anakin, but seeing his face confirmed to Obi-Wan it was Anakin. And he's looking into his eyes, and they have a conversation. He says, my friend is truly gone. He's like, Anakin is truly gone. And it's crazy because while Obi-Wan's talking, he has the blue lightsaber up and we see the blue shining on his face. But then, Obi-Wan literally has emotions which Jedis are not even supposed to do. He cries. And he said, I did this to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything. Y'all don't know, that was a pivotal moment in the episode. Damn near shed a tear. I was like, to me, that was pivotal. These are the moments we get of the characters that we didn't get in the movie, y'all. And that's why these series are so important to me. Some people are going to say they can and some people they not. But Obi-Wan crying, saying, look, Anakin, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about everything. And then immediately, Vader raises the red lightsaber and his face illuminates all red. It's like the dark side came back over the little bit of light that he had. And he says, you didn't kill Anakin Skywalker. I did. And then that's when he said, my friend is truly dead. Threw all those force rocks at him. Let's talk about Obi-Wan's force abilities. Rey's not stronger than Obi-Wan Kenobi. Shit, right now, Vader's not. And he used the light side and threw hella boulders and messed him up to the point where he was damn near incapacitated. And then the last thing he said, he finally didn't call him Anakin for the last time. And he said, goodbye, Darth. And then he walked off. As Vader, half his voice Hayden Christensen's, half Vader, James Earl Jones through the voice, he's yelling, Obi-Wan, Obi-Wan. And it's very sad to see where Darth Vader came. Because now this is all he has left. Padme's dead. He killed all his old friends. His master ain't messing with him. All he has left is the dark side of the Force and the Emperor. That's it. And he's trying to, this last bit of Anakin Skywalker that's in him. We know they didn't take it all the way out because Luke drew it out and, helped him redeem himself later on. But shit is crazy, y'all. That shit is dope. Man, y'all don't know. So, of course, the episode ends. Leia makes it back to Alderaan with her people. That was the very end. But we got to cut back to Reva. Reva ends up catching Luke Skywalker. They try to hold him off and shoot blasters at him. She ends up catching him in some type of cave. And she has her lightsaber in her hand. And she's going to go get the death strike. But then it flashes and she sees herself as a Padawan laying right there. And she hesitates. Then she sees herself as a Padawan again. And she's seeing flashes of Anakin Skywalker. And it's basically parallel. Because she's wearing a dark cloak and a hoodie just like he was. And she couldn't do it, y'all. So Obi-Wan ends up rushing back to Tatooine. Where's Luke? Where's Luke? We see Reva coming through the goddamn desert. Carrying him. Comes down. Drops him down. And she looks at Obi-Wan and says, I couldn't do it. I couldn't kill him. She said, I failed Lord Vader. Even though Vader and the Grand Inquisitor said they're not even fucking with her no more. She was like, I failed. And Obi-Wan said, no, you didn't fail. He said, you showed mercy. You actually won. And this redeems Reva's arc. Because she could have took out the Chosen One right, mother. Well, not the Chosen One, but the Chosen One's son right there. Reva has a good arc. And it came full circle. And she's still alive. They killed off Ben Kenobi. They killed off Ben Skywalker, not Ben Kenobi. They killed off Kylo Ren. They killed him off. You know, and I loved his arc. I wish he had wish he would have had more of an arc. They kept going back on stuff. We're gonna destroy the mask. We're gonna rebuild it. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. They kept messing it up. But Reba had in this small 6 episodes, she had a good arc. Shout out to Moses Ingram. You did a good job. Let the haters hate. But at the end of the day, this is some of the best dark side shit, best Star Wars we didn't have. And I knew you was a good actor. I'm about to go check out your other stuff just from knowing you from this. So shout outs to her. Shout out to Ian McGregor saying at the end, look, now you free. We both are. We can do what we want. So we'll see where they end up. Like I said, of course we got Leia back to Alderaan. And of course she got back with her parents. And Leia basically made her little costume. She got her little blaster holder that the whole chick that was in the Empire died. Gave it to her. She's wearing her signature hairstyle. And she's wearing the all white. So you can, I guess these adventures kind of inspired, you know, how she wants to lead as she told her parents and, you know, her attire. Last but not least, Obi-Wan said he's going to keep his distance. He goes and tell Luke's uncle, Aunt Beru, both of them, look, I'm going to keep my distance. And at the end, Owen was like, hey, you want to meet him? So he got to meet Luke. Of course, we know he gave him that little goddamn, the little toy that he has in the original one. And as he's leaving, going into the desert, he finally sees our boy Qui-Gon Jinn. I mess with Qui-Gon Jinn. I fucking don't fuck with Liam Neeson, but I like Qui-Gon Jinn. And he says, look, I've been here the whole time. Come with me. I'm about to teach you how to transcend and turn into a Force ghost. So, I like this series, as I said, y'all. It has rewatch value. It's one of the better Star Wars properties, and to me, it's the best show that Disney Plus done put out. Like I said, Mandalorian, it's in between that Mandalorian. I told you I like it better because I'm more familiar with the characters. Mandalorian still went pretty hard. Of course, they brought back those, what they call them now, legacy characters, whatever. Anyways, this was dope. Obi-Wan's back. Go on and do a season 2. If they don't, I won't be mad. If they do, I'm definitely turning in. And if you don't fucking like Reba, don't watch, if she get a spinoff, don't watch Obi-Wan no more. See, the Star Wars properties I don't like, I don't watch the fucking shows. You can write down in the comments, y'all. I didn't like Rogue One. I thought it was boring and I fell asleep during a Star Wars movie. And I'm a Star Wars nerd. I fell asleep during the movie. The only good part about that whole movie was goddamn the end where Darth Vader ate them dudes up. But other than that, that was it. Pause. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank y'all for sharing the videos too. And don't forget, we will be back with another review. Peace.